Just now. Who composed the mantra music of Amitayu's mantra music? Homa. The mantra music?
我们那一段，对，听的好像是准提所哈。
It sounded like Chundi Soha.
那个咒音念得太快了吧？
Because you chant the mantra too fast.
那个咒是有问题。
In the video, that mantra chanting was problematic.
所以念这个长寿就变成折寿。
So longevity would become shorten your lifespan. How can you chant like that?
咒音也不是
And play the mantra like that.
那一个声音。
I don't teach you to chant like that. Just one note, one tone. Nowadays, we have improvised to be extremely beautiful and melodious. And the pronunciation for syllables became 2. That's wrong. So if you play it on the internet, it would harm people. But the mantra was chanted wrong. It's so strange. I kept looking, listening. What happened? It became Chundi Soha, Juwendiye. 4 syllables became 2, Chundi Soha. Play it again so we can listen again. So play that mantra chanting. That's not clear. Chundi. Chundi. Chundi Soha. So the pronunciation was not right. And now play the mantra music of the Amitayus Buddha during Homa for the Okay. So listening to this one, you can extend your lifespan. You can have a long life. Nowadays, technology is very
唱出来的
advanced,
奏音是这样子，
so the mantra music can be like
这个
that,
奏音是这样，
like that. That's how they compose it. But for you, you're so stubborn and obstinate with just one tone.
听了心里都烦了。
So I felt really disturbed listening to it. So was living a long life and it became shortened. I felt really
记住啊，
discomfort listening to it. Everybody has made progress. Mantra chanting has changed.
从头念到尾都
So why don't you just stick to the old ways and just chant with one tone from beginning to end? So, but listening to it made me very
做出骗子，
troubled.
做出来了。
So I was going to live a long life and now it's shortened. How could you make such? So don't say who made it, okay?
真的，对不对？
Right? Really.
奏音刚刚那个
So just compare the two. That's a big difference.
奏音听了，心里就很平静，
So by listening to the mantra music, you feel at peace.
越听越烦。
But listening to that video mantra chanting, the more you chant,
是练成两个字，
the more discomfort you feel, and then the mantra was chanted wrong too. The four syllable Jundi sounded like Jundi, Jundi, Jundi.
新奏啊，短奏了，短奏，
So heart mantra, short heart mantra is not that fast either. You just sound, that's it,
哎，要求进步啊！
You need to make
时
progress.
代变了，
Times have changed.
你看一个音乐，小小一个音乐，
Just a music is not
转音
easy.
漂亮，听了就很
When it's nice melody, then you feel good listening to it.
那个练的都烦了，
And if you just stick to the old tone, you feel
这个
you feel
念的人
bad about it.
念的人是很诚心在念，
The people chanting
人看出来。
must be very wholehearted, but anybody review and check on it?
做这个骗子的人是谁？
Who made the video?
是你做的。
You?
你要监制，要监视哪个地方有错。
So you have to check the quality, the sound, the
都
pronunciation.
是请专家奏的，你每一个奏你都是请专家奏的。
You ask an expert to compose the mantra, but this one, you just made haphazardly. Amitabha. I felt very annoyed listening to it.
我不能不讲啊，你知道吗？
I have to say
我
it
说那个奏是错的，
because the mantra was wrong.
尊提所哈。我们这里尊提所哈，你干脆念。
Oh, if you chant Om Chili Chili Chunti Soha, that would be right. But you cannot just change it as you like. Juandiye.
怎么可以念成尊提？
Then it sounded that you chanted sounded like Jundi. Okay, I should stop. I shouldn't continue.
我们敬礼传承礼制，
Let's pay homage to the lineage gurus.
和尚
Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming.
敬礼沙迦真门，
Homage to Master Sakya Zheng Kong.
敬礼十六世大法华。
Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa, and homage to Master Dupten Dorji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of Homa today. The longevity Tathagata Amitayus, Usnisha Vijaya Buddha Mother, and Vaitara, the three longevity deities. Sumo, Tanzan Kato, Tutan City, Tutan Kama, all Dhamma masters, Dhamma lecturers, Dhamma teachers, Dhamma instructors, Dhamma teaching assistants, temple and center directors, and all disciples present here and over the internet. Good afternoon. How do you do?
你好，大家好。请找他们。I stay 下个，Hola amigo, te quiero mucho. Hoy, 你记吧，我们一，因为两边，不能，我们说。不管再怎么样，
No matter what,
不管这个长寿佛的做，
whether Amitayus mantra was chanted,
保护，
保护,
反正保护就对了。
we just chant 保护.
I
would like to announce
下个礼拜天是7月12号
for next Sunday, July 12th,
是勾台天女
at 3 p.m. there would be Manohara Vasudhara Homa fire offering ceremony.
意象。
This deity, when people hear it's the wealth attracting goddess, everybody would register for primary supplicants. I don't have to say more.
我讲那个财神呐，你只要看到
Talking about wealth deity, whenever you see a mouse, that's a wealth
勾
deity.
台天女，你看她手上
And look at Manohara. She's also holding a mouse
她拿着金刚钩，
and a vajra
勾
hook
你所需要的
to hook whatever you need.
金刚钩的手印，
This is the mudra. You all know.
这个钩手印。马罗哈兹雅，哈兹雅是他的名字。
So her name is Haraya.
名字上
From now on, I will call her Haraya.
嘿，说哈，他的咒语。勾财天女是很漂亮的，专门勾财。今天是做长寿佛。刚刚听那个咒语就很好。
So just now, we were listening. We performed Amitayus Homa, and the mantra music chanting was really excellent.
巴西的
Brazilian, they do really well. The mantra music was very touching,
你呀，心理上就
and
清凉。
we feel very nice and comfortable and cool in the heart. Thank you.
好就讲好了，不讲就讲不好，对不对？
So if it's good, it's nice, I would say so. If it's not, I would say so.
在网
Now we don't chant music, chant mantra like
没有
that.
人这样子念的，就一直念到底。
You know, that you just chant the same tone from beginning to end. You know, rather than feeling good listening to it, you feel very annoyed. There should be some variations in mantra chanting, like the Green Tara mantra. That's how I chanted in the past.
念了千遍一律。
And then all the same from beginning to end. But other people,
念都是有4个音的。
with the 4 tones. Now our mantra chanting is different from the past. Like that. It's different now.
一致。
There must be, because around the globe everybody chanting the mantra, it has to be the same.
阿弥陀佛，谢谢。
Thank you, Amitabha.
谢谢。
Thank you.
你不能持短咒啊。
But you cannot chant such shortened mantra.
朱恩爹。
Chundi. You cannot chant it sounding like Chundi. Chundi Soha. Chundi Soha. You have to chant it properly or correctly.
Om Amanoli Chundi Soha. Om Amanoli Chundi Soha. 你不能念啊 Om Amanoli Chundi Soha.
You cannot chant like that, right? That would be wrong.
念比较快。
Because that's faster. Then that would be also hard. You cannot be like that and skip things. And then eventually people would learn the wrong thing. Of course, there are many different versions of mantras. The mantras that we learn from the gurus. Sometimes they learn it this, they learn that, and then they chant it differently. And then Tibetans have their own versions, and they think that that's slightly off, so you have to change them. In the past, I used Tara to Ra Soha. Now it's Tare to Re Soha. So of course, mantra pronunciation is not exact. In Taiwan, Soha became Saboho. I've talked about this. So when Taiwanese chant, they would chant Saboho. Actually, it's Soha. So Soha. It's not like playing poker. So of course, when we chant the single mantra for Amitabha, she. But for Westerners, that would be shit. That's a big difference, right? We are the foreigners. We came from other countries to here, so we are the foreigners. We often refer to the white people as foreigners, and they understand Chinese. They would say, "Hey, come on, you are the foreigners," and that's right. Yeah, we are the foreigners. So that's like a curse. Like when we talk about Cantonese, the Cantonese would laugh because that's Taiwanese. That means something else in Cantonese. So pronunciations are different and varied. So my guru taught me Om Bulin for the completion mantra. And then the disciples sang, or a singer, and used the name Om Bulin. But that's due to dialect of Master Pu Fang. Actually, it's Brom. That's the right pronunciation. So that's a big difference, right? So I cannot blame you, cannot blame the master or the disciples who chant, who produce different sound when chanting fast. That's the issues with mantras. So Master Pu Fang taught me Om Bulin, so I taught you Om Bulin, right? And one of our singer calls himself Om Bulin, and his voice is quite nice. He's gone to China now. So the mantra transmission is not always accurate, but you put your heart into it. So with your hearts, although the lifespan was shortened, now it become extended again. As long as you put your hearts into it. But you have to strive for perfection. Look, the mantra chanting is very gentle and would give you comfort and peace, and naturally you would live a long life. And you shorten it and shorten it, shorten it. It's like you're cutting off your lifespan. Question from Malaysia, Lian Hua Zhen Yuan, Amitabha. Grandmaster, please answer my few questions. Can we change our yidams, our main personal deity, if we have no spiritual response? And then, for example, there are many world deities into the school. And recently, Grandmaster transmitted many world deity Dharma practices. So if we practice Yellow Jambala and then has no response, we change to Arya Avalokitesvara, no response, and then change Jatilamu, and no response, and then change to Golden Mother's instant world, and there's a little bit of spiritual response. So I chose my yidam to be Yellow Jambala. Can I change it to Golden Mother? I cannot just give answers as I like. Let me consult. If you have no spiritual response, so like so many world deities, and then you keep changing, oh, no response, keep changing, no response, and then eventually you practice Haraya. Okay. So this person is practicing world deities until he encounters one deity that gives responses. Can he change his yidam, the original one? So he practiced Golden Mother's instant wealth practice and has some
所以要就进步
spiritual response. Then practice that. That's the answer.
啊，有感应的那一尊，你就继续修下去。
Then you continue the yidam that gives spiritual response.
你要换也可以，是不是？
So, is that true that when you have no spiritual response, you can change?
我不在讲，
The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas answered, people nowadays are all like that.
没办法。
What can we do?
那要
You want to get divorced and get married again? You want to get married, get married. You want to get divorced, get divorced. You don't want to get married, you don't get married.
结了再离，离了再。
So you get married and get divorced and married and divorced and so on. And everybody's like that. The same with your Dharma practice.
哪一尊跟你最有缘的，你就修哪一尊。
So you practice the deity that has the best affinity with you. Don't worry about what others say.
哪一尊你认为这一尊跟你最有缘？
If you think
你就
this deity I have most affinity, closest affinity with, and then you practice that, and then you have spiritual response. So if you gain spiritual response with one, then you would gain spiritual responses from others. I focus on one from beginning to end, primarily Golden Mother and Amitabha and Siddhikarma.
就是这三个本尊嘛。
Just 3 yidams for me.
只有可以只有一个本尊的，
It's one, it's fine, just one.
你一个本尊相应了，其他
Because you need to know that once you gain spiritual response with one, you would gain spiritual response with others.
想着当初的时候啊，
But in my heart mind, I kept remembering
第一个跟我接触的是瑶池金木，
that my affinity started with Golden Mother, and then Amitabha Buddha appeared, and then Siddhikarma
觉得这
Bodhisattva.
三尊跟我有缘，就跟
So I felt that they have close affinities with me, and I stick with them all my life. I never changed
那
them.
个千烧法船超度，
And look at my 1,000 Dhamma vessels, Bardo Deliverance, also rely on Golden Mother, Amitabha Buddha, and Siddhikarma Bodhisattva. These 3 yidams as the primary.
头彻尾，
From beginning to end, always these 3 primarily.
所以我每一次拜佛的，
So every time
走
I pay homage,
就这样子念的，
always
经文
Dijang Siddhikarma Bodhisattva, Yamantaka, Golden Mother,
大威德金刚，
Amitabha, Siddhikarma Bodhisattva, Yamantaka, Akalanatha also helps,
大力金刚不动明王，
Mahabala.
可以的，你只要一尊相应，
Because once you gain spiritual union with one deity, you would
所
be
以你看哪
in union with all deities. So which deity that you are closest with, or the deity that you have a spiritual response with, then you focus on that deity.
啊，为什么师尊从一到底？我就是这种个性。
So why Grandmaster just stay the same from beginning to end? That's my character. I am against the norm or the crowd.
我告诉你啊，我这个人啊，对我有恩，
You know, I always remember those who do favors or have gratitude.
对我有恩的，我都会永远。
I always remember forever.
我不能够背弃人家，人家以前对你怎么
I
样？
cannot go against
会
them.
背弃人家呢？对不对？
So when someone has give you a generosity or favors, no matter what happens in the future, I will always remember anybody that has shown kindness and favors. But people that have crossed me, I would forget them all.
明天就忘了，
Tomorrow, it's gone
忘掉了，那是垃圾，
because
那
that's garbage. So I just throw them away.
去想，然后放在你心里啊，
So you don't even remember them. If you keep them in your heart and mind, that's garbage. We just clean ourselves. We only pay generosity or gratitude, but you don't take revenge. You should not have any grudges or enmities or hatred in your heart or mind. Only then you would have attainment. You have to remember those that have shown you kindness and favors. That's your responsibility. No matter what will happen in the future, someone that has shown you kindness and favors, you will have to repay them. You have to find ways to repay their generosity and kindness. But for grudges, enmities, animosities people show you, you just forget them all. Because if you keep them in your heart and mind, you would become heavy and you would have to be in bondage in the samsara. You would be held in bondage in samsara. Let me tell jokes. The difference between 18 and 80. Are you talking about me? I am 82 according to Taiwanese calendar. In America, 81. So 18 and 81. The one who drowned in the ocean is 18, but if you slip in the bathtub, that's 81. When you speed on the roads, that's 18. But if you go against the direction, that's 81. So you have to go on a turnabout. And I thought, oh, I can just go that way, and then the car in front of me just hung on me, so I pulled back. I drove against the traffic in the roundabout. So I thought, just took a shortcut. You have to go around the roundabout. Yeah, so you cannot go in the wrong direction. And you have a fragile heart, or fragile when you're 18, but at 81 you have a fragile bones. And you don't understand anything. That's 18. But if you cannot think of anything, that's 81. Sometimes I want to call someone that's so familiar, but I forget her name or his name. I just call them, hey. Or I just call them, hello. Because I cannot remember your name suddenly. And then when I remembered it, you've walked by. When you don't understand everything, that's 18. When you can't think of it suddenly, that's 81. And you work so hard to find you, that's 18. But if someone keeps looking for you, that's 81. Because you lost your way. I really hate strangers asking me about my private matters. Last night, hey, beautiful, where are you going? And I was very unkind, like none of your business. And then
赶出汽车车，
and then he
赶出计程车，
takes me out of the taxi.
你上了计程车，
You got on a taxi, and the taxi driver asks you, "Where are you going?" And she
回答说
and she declined. It's none of your business.
我们的 AI 机器人种类繁多，
The AI robots have many styles. The cute, the innocent, and the pretty. The salesman's introducing to Xiaoming,
崔小颖又讲，还有浪漫型、
and the romantic, the lively,
高型，
and seductive kind.
小明跟这个崔小颖讲，
And Xiaoming
有
told,
欧洲上流社会的贵妇型，
"How about like a European royalty one?" Sure, we'll send it to you right away.
这个中医机器人来了，
Finally, the robot came,
在家里面的贵妇讲，大太阳我不出门，
and she
大
said,
雨我也不出门，
"When it's sunny, I don't go anywhere. When it's rainy, I don't go out. When it's humid, I don't go out.
出门。
It's poor air, I don't go out."
自己在想，
And Xiaoming was thinking,
退货，
"I have to return you tomorrow."
贵妇型吗？
Because it's the nobility style.
AI 机器人虽然外表
So the AI robots
生活却有一点真人感，也没有
look like a real human.
对推销人讲，
So the customer told the salesman, but he doesn't feel like real.
不需要吃，也不要喝
Doesn't eat nor drink.
的时候，孤独的用餐。
So I still eat by myself.
这个推销人就讲了，
And the salesman said, "No
本公
problem.
司有 AI 机器人的新产品，
We have a new product
真人是
that's exactly the same as a real human in everyday life."
结果这个顾客 AI 机器人从厕所走出来，
And when the robot walked out from the bathroom,
对推销员讲：“喂，客服部吗？
the customer talked to
他拉的屎比真的人还臭，
I want to return this product because her
像
poops
人也不行呐、
are really smelly. So you can't have robots exactly like humans, right?
完全像人呢、也会拉屎。
And they even poop and smells worse.
AI
So AI can be problematic in the future.
我们讲一点楞严经吧。
Let's discuss Surangama Sutra a little
一
bit.
诸动静必在开通，
Apart from movement and stillness, obstruction and openness,
众睡人
closing and
明
clearing, one would say that hearing has no nature of its own. It's like a person in deep sleep, sleeping soundly on a bed and pillow. While this person is asleep, someone in the household is pounding cloth and husking rice. In the dream, the person hears the sounds of pounding and husking, but mistakes them for something else, perhaps the beating of a drum or the striking of a bell.
一是乎物，才知这个触音，自告家人。
While dreaming, this person even wonders why the bell makes the sound of wood and stone.
为鼓响，
Then
阿难，
Suddenly waking up, the person immediately realized it sounded the sound of a pestle. The person tells the family, "While I was dreaming just now, I mistook the sound of pounding for the sound of a drum." Ananda, while this person was dreaming, did they remember stillness and movement, opening and closing, openness and obstruction? Although the body was asleep, the nature of hearing was not dim. Even if your body dissolves and the light of life passes away, how could this nature be extinguished along with you? Because sentient beings since beginningless time have followed forms and sounds and have been carried along by their thoughts. They have never awakened to the pure, wondrous, and eternal nature. Instead of following what is constant, they chase after all that is subject to arising and ceasing. Because of this, life after life, they drift in defilement and continue to transmigrate. If one abandons arising and ceasing and abides in the true constant, the constant light will appear before one. The sense roots, sense objects, consciousness, and mind will immediately fall away. The appearances of thought are dust, the emotion of consciousness are defilement. When both are completely left behind, your Dharma eye will immediately become clear and bright. How could then you not attain the unsurpassed awakened knowledge? So there were some characters here that I may not pronounce correctly or properly. So Sakyamuni Buddha was giving an analogy. So movement and stillness would produce sound. Obstruction and openness, that's for the breathing. So darkness and light, that's for the eyes. If it's dark, you cannot see anything. When there's light, you can see anything. When there's movement and stillness, you can hear sound. Obstruction and openness, that's for the nose. Apart from those, one would say hearing has no nature. When you don't hear any sound, so Sakyamuni Buddha used another analogy. Someone is in deep sleep. Sleeping soundly on the bed and pillow. While this person is asleep, someone in the household is pounding rice. So it's like cloth or clothes. So they don't use washing machine. They use like a pounder to pound on the cloth, and you husk the rice or the clothes. So hearing that sound in the dream, he thought someone was beating the drum or striking a bell. So the pounding was mistaken as the drum. So he could still hear even when you're sleeping. So that shows that your hearing nature still exists. So just put an alarm clock. When the alarm keeps ringing, then you would wake up. So you still have the hearing nature. Otherwise, without it, how can you hear the alarm? So Sakyamuni Buddha giving an analogy that when you're asleep, someone is pounding rice and you think that it is beating the drum or striking a bell. Let me tell you, when I had leg and waist pain, back pain, when it was really bad, that night when I had a dream, the I in the dream also had back pain. So whatever you mull over in the daytime, at night you would have the same dream. Oh, such a pain, what a pain. And I had to crawl into bed, and I had to have the right posture to alleviate the pain. And then eventually I fell asleep. But in the dreams, that person, that you in the dreams also had the back pain. So the pain feeling was brought into the dreams. So the you in the dreams was still suffering from the pain. So such things happen. So although you're dreaming, you still wake up hearing the alarm. So that shows that the hearing nature is still there. So don't think after you fall asleep you don't know about anything. But actually the hearing nature, the touching nature, the smelling nature, the smelling awareness, the tactile awareness are still there. The 6 roots are still functioning, although they are less. So that's why they are misperception. So the sound of the pounding rice becomes the beating of a drum. And then when he suddenly woke up, he realized that was the sound of pounding rice. And he said, when I was dreaming, I mistook the sound of pounding for the sound of a drum. So Ananda, while this person was dreaming, did they remember the stillness, movement, opening and closing, openness and obstruction? How could he know about the sound due to stillness and movement? The body was asleep, but the nature of hearing was still there. Although he misperceived and mistook it, this showed that the wondrous luminous true mind is ever present. It's just that the sound sometimes is there, sometimes it's not there. But the wondrous luminous true mind is always there. So one day, he did not say it clearly here. If Ananda, one day you die, although you have died, so the same. The wondrous luminous true mind, the Buddha nature, is still there. That's the analogy. So even if one day you die, your wondrous luminous true mind and Buddha nature is still there. So now, all sentient beings since beginningless time, lifetime after lifetime in samsara, transmigration, let me tell you, everyone is dreaming. The eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body and mind, and sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, and mental objects. You just live by those 6 roots, 6 dusts, 6 consciousnesses. Everyone is the same. And they continually follow their thoughts, cycling endlessly. So continually
眼耳鼻舌身意色身香
transmigrate
六根
due to the 6 deaths, 6 roots, and 6 consciousnesses, the 18 sense fields,
一直在
continually cycling in the samsara.
一下子死，一下子生，一下子死，
So life
一下子
being a birth and death and birth and death and another birth and another death. So from youth to old age to youth to old
一
age,
下子情，一下子仇，
and for a moment love, for a moment hatred, for a moment love, for a moment hatred.
今天高兴一点，明天就悲哀一点，后天
Or
高兴一点，
happiness or sadness. So you're happy today, sad tomorrow, another happy, a little bit happier, and then a little bit sadder, and back and forth and back and forth, and now that's how you live your life. You have no money today, you have some money tomorrow, or you're slandered or scolded today, and you feel really bad.
怕什么？
What are you feeling bad about? It will pass.
诽谤也会过去啊，
The slanders will pass too.
嘴巴不会烂的。
They will not last forever, right? Aren't they tired of talking?
嘴巴也会烂掉啊。
And the mouth will rot eventually. So why are you afraid of them?
也会啊，网络上
So
多得很啊。
there's so many people
那个
scolding others on the internet,
我们上司跟我讲，
rebuking others. The master told me
骂得很凶哎。
that on the internet people slanders you really badly in Malaysia, Singapore, Taiwan, and they gang up together really bad, really severe.
骂的
But hey, I don't know anything. I never get on the internet. But it's really horrible on the internet. But I never heard it. I never read it. So I did not know.
不知道就好了。
So it's good that I did not know.
知道哦，
If you knew, oh, you would be sad. You would be upset
反正
and angry.
人家
But you don't
马来
know.
西亚人骂你，新加坡
Those in Malaysia, Malaysian, Singaporean, Taiwanese, all scolded you, slandered you,
那个
and then
发觉不对，
eventually
就弄来一个反驳的，
Sumu created something to rebuke them,
反驳那
created websites to
三个人也没有
to fight those 3 people.
啊。第一个不知道跑哪里去了，大概
And the first one, we don't know where he's gone,
是死了啊，
maybe bankrupt. The second one is dead.
妈烂。
Sulama. Sounded like Salamat.
死了，
He's dead. The third
这
one
市场呢？
lost his mind.
第三个好像是建筑市场，
I think the third one has gone crazy
养老院吧。
in a psychiatric hospital.
对啊，三个骂人的很凶的，
3 defamers, very horrible. One died, one lost his mind, and one disappeared. They're gone.
不要去想这个。
So don't think about those.
然后因为我不知道啊，
I did not know,
骂
so I did not know how they reprimanded me
我们看到
or slandered me.
心里起反感，
But those who saw
所以
were disturbed by them, but just ignore them.
本来就这个样子，
That's how human life is.
哪一个人没有被骂？
How can it be not like
最高
this?
位的也被骂，
Those with even with the highest position, those with fame would be
就说在
reprimanded. I'm not the highest, but I'm the highest introvert
当
school.
老二，
Don't be the first.
当然
in anything. The second is best. Then you're free of troubles, free of stress and pressures. If there are any problems, it's the business of the first one. The first one. The second one, you just follow the first one. You have nothing to worry about. I don't want to be anything. Don't be anything. Just okay. So this way, just carry it along. That's rebirth cycle, transmigration, samsara. So the six deaths, six roots, six consciousnesses mean rebirth cycle. Because of this life after life, they drift in defilement and continue to transmigrate. If one abandons arising and ceasing, you just abandon all the arising and ceasing bad things, including the body, the houses, the cars. Whether you have money or not, they're all arising and ceasing. Youthfulness is also arising and ceasing. In the past, the golden horse lady was very beautiful, but now she's an old bodhisattva. She has changed. And the beautiful lady that I chased after, I rode my bike from Kaohsiung to Pingtung. She just graduated from the teacher's college and very young, youthful and beautiful. I fell in love to her in elementary school. And finally, I got to Pingtung, to her house near the Dongshan temple. On the New Year's Eve, I knocked at her door, and when she saw me, she was surprised, and then asked me to join their New Year's Eve banquet. And then had an overnight there, and then the next day she sent me back home. Lying on bed, I was thinking, oh, how should I confess my love to her? This little kid. What are you talking about? So I was even worse than Qiong Yao, the author. In the 6th grade, I fell in love to my like a mentor, resident teacher. So let's not talk about the glorious past. But although it's crazy, but it's still very sweet memories. It's just very insane. So that's birth and death, rebirth cycle, and confusion, delusion, and inversion. But the Pingtung disciples checked and searched for her and found her, and she's older than the old Bodhisattva. She's about 8 years or 10 years older than I am. So in the 90s, of course, old. And then they took the photo of her and her husband. And the disciple in Pingtung checked household by household until they found her. And then they burst my nice image. So everything changes. So arising and ceasing, and then death and gone very soon. I'm old too. I was in 6th grade. I was like Kang Kang.
以前
the son of Harry and Yi Xian,
以前的儿子康康很小，
tiny,
小学6年级，
sixth grade.
所以那个是追逐生灭，由是生灭，
So
流转，弱
that's arising and ceasing.
通通都给它丢掉。
And then if you abandon
争吵
the arising, ceasing, and transmigration, and abide in the true constant light will appear. The wondrous luminous true mind will appear before you.
因实求你六根六尘
And the appearances of thoughts are dust. So your six roots, six dust, and six consciousness will disappear.
尘垢全部洗掉，二
And
句远离，两种通通都丢掉，
everything will be cleansed.
后全部都远离，你就清净了。
So the sense roots, the sense objects and consciousness and the mind will immediately fall away. The appearance of thoughts are dust. The emotions of consciousness are defilement.
对，天眼
When both are completely left behind, your Dharma eye will immediately become clear and bright. There are different kinds of eyes: physical eyes, divine eyes, Dharma eyes, wisdom eyes, and Buddha eyes.
银河不
And so your Dharma eyes will immediately become clear and bright. Then you have attained the Anuttara Samyak
眼
Sambodhi.
看的，把一些尘垢全部把它清除掉，
So what your eyes see
就是把它清除掉，
would, if you clear away
光线
all the dust that you see, all the six roots, six dust, six consciousness, then the bright light will appear.
所以一切现象都是一时的现象。
So every and all phenomena are momentary.
所以我们本
Everything is
你
momentary.
哪里有活？你根本在梦中。
So you think you are alive, but actually you're in the dreams.
梦中梦，
And the dreams you have at night, those are dreams inside dreams. Even now you're in the dream.
晚上做的梦叫做梦中梦。
And the dreams you have at night are dreams inside the dream.
就懂得佛法的就知道，
If you understand Buddha Dharma, you would understand.
原来我这一生就像一场梦。
So my human life is just like a dream.
所以诽谤的声音啊，那些
So the sound of slanders,
装你
those are just, and all those negative comments, those are just like the pounding of rice
就是在洗衣服的声音。
or the pounding of clothes being washed.
释迦牟尼佛做这个比喻，
So Sakyamuni Buddha gave a good analogy to let you know
我们人生本来就是一场梦。
that human life is basically a dream.
跟大家讲的，那不是一场梦吗？
I've told you, right? Isn't that a dream?
我的那个教学老师
When I chase after my elementary school teacher, Yu Gui,
是他的名，我不
her name is Yu Gui.
因为我害怕他还活。
I did not want to write her full name because I was afraid that she's still alive. But people still found her.
我用假了，我那个名字都用假的了。
I always use pseudonyms in my books. I don't dare to use real names
对不对？
because she would
哎，这个学生
she would feel embarrassed that she could not think about that student.
是好像有这件事情。
It seemed like something like that happened.
高雄骑脚踏车到屏东来找我，
There was a student that rode his bike to find me. But didn't you know that was a secret crush?
他比我多10岁啊，
She did not know because she was 10 years older than I
6
was.
年级耶。
That's the sixth grade. So I already had dates when I was in kindergarten. my classmate that sat next to me, Lin Yanyu.
我幼稚园我就开始谈恋爱，
So I started in kindergarten. She sat next to me
这个不准手不可以伸过来，
and she drew a line like
手伸过来，
you cannot let your hand cross over the line, but she did.
把他妈妈的痛恨呢，
And she brought the powder puff, and then she powdered her own face, and then
我抓到你了，
puffed it on my face. And I said, "Oh, your hand crossed over." So now my hand would cross over too, and then finally
家具哎，
we held hands, and then we held holding hands. We went to her house,
幼稚园你就交她男朋友，
and her family said, "What? You have a boyfriend in
我还
kindergarten?"
知道她的名字，她叫林彦玉，
And I even knew her name, Lin Yanyi. So we were
班上
on
的
good
人
terms,
笑我们两个，
and the classmates all laugh at us.
幼稚园
A pair of lovers in kindergarten holding hands. You know? That's incredible.
隔几天呢
And a few days later,
不见了，她不见了，
she disappeared
她老爸哦调到台北去了，
because her father was relocated to Taipei.
我准备买车票，
I was planning to buy a ticket to go to Taipei
买
in kindergarten
去找我的女朋友，
to buy
下住址
a bus ticket to go to Taipei to find her. But she did not leave any address, and there was no phone back then.
你这样朝台北找到人家又怎么样？
So let me ask you, even if you find her in Taipei, and then what?
问题是有去的车票没有回来的车票，
And the problem is, I would have a ticket going but not coming back.
你连吃饭都成问题耶。
And you even have problem eating,
所以那个时候
having meals.
真的是颠倒，
So back then, that was really an inversion.
它不是颠倒，
Dating in kindergarten, wasn't that upside down?
不过
However,
有时候是有这种脑筋，
I had such a brain in kindergarten, so I must have matured fast.
事实上想起来，这些都是颠倒。
But now thinking back, all this delusion and inversion, really.
这是轮回的，
That's the cause of rebirth, transmigration,
情仇，
love, hatred.
唯一的就是认明你自己本身的妙
The only thing is you need to recognize your own wondrous luminous true mind. And
消亡
the 6 roots, 6 dust, and 6 consciousness are completely eliminated,
那个是有
which at
本身的
such a time,
释迦牟尼
your wondrous luminous true mind will appear, and that's your original Buddha nature, Sakyamuni Buddha says. And in this way, you would be able to attain Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi, the unexcelled perfect enlightenment.
你如果还在六根六尘，
If you're still tumbling in this 18 sense fields, then life after life after life, you would continually in the rebirth cycle
修
endlessly.
成阿罗汉，
Therefore,
眼耳
to attain arhatship, you need
六贼
to treat the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind as the 6 thieves
无形之中帮你造业，
who create karma for you inadvertently.
你不知道他在造业，
You don't even know that they are actually already creating karma for you.
你都要醒过来。
Therefore, you have to be awakened anytime. There are 2 kinds.
醒过
One,
来，你已经知道，哎呀，
you awaken and you know this is creating karma. So that's slight
你
awakening.
在造业，
You're creating karma,
你在造业，
and you know you're creating karma. That's awakening.
眼耳鼻舌身意都是会造业。
All the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind can create karma. Think about it.
鼻舌身意都是会造业。
So the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind can create karma. They all create karma. But this eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and
你
mind,
能够停止，
when you know
表示你醒过来。
and you can stop them, that means you're awakened. What is
你
enlightenment?
知道
You know
眼耳鼻舌
that the
身
eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind are all false.
真的是妙明真心，
And the true one is the one that's luminous true mind. Then you have enlightened. You are enlightened.
你舍去假的，
And when you abandon the fake ones and just retain the true one, that would be a true enlightenment. If you know they create karma, that's just awakening
叫醒过来，
from your sleep.
开悟，
But the true enlightenment
都是假的。
is that you know everything is fake or false. That is true
真
enlightenment.
心是真的，
Only the one that's luminous true mind is true.
妄迷惑，
But humans are always deluded and mistake the false ones to be true. So let's shout, 包覆,
报复，
包覆.
这是假的。
That's fake. That's false.
不过喊一喊也爽啊，对不对？
But shouting it still make you happy, right? Om Mani Padme Hum.